Good evening, everyone. Jamie Goble here, high school principal and superintendent of schools here in Lisle Public School. Here this evening sharing our World's Best Workforce and Achievement and Integration plan. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And one second here. There we go. All right, so this again is our World's Best Workforce and Achievement Integration Annual Summer Report. This is required annually by the state of Minnesota and Minnesota Department of Education to inform the public of our progress on the World's Best Workforce and Achievement Integration. And it is based on the last school year. Under Minnesota state statute, we are school boards and alongside the administrations are to adopt a long-term comprehensive plan to improve student teaching and learning. And they are supposed to follow these 5 goals set forth by Governor Dayton several years back. All children are ready for school. All third graders, by the time they get to 3rd grade, they should be able at grade level. All racial and economic achievement gaps between students are closed, and students are ready for career in college, and then they make sure they are ready, they graduate with their peers. Achievement integration is a little bit different, but it's looking at how to look at disparity amongst racial and economic issues, look at student achievement, and really look at diversity amongst the schools and how we can close those achievement gaps and raise the academic achievement among all students. The committee is based off of administration, so it's Ms. McRae and myself for this year. Teachers, support staff, community members, and school board members. Again, this is last year's program, so a lot of these members are not with us with new administration, but nonetheless, I'm here tonight to share some of those results. The World's Best Workforce, what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at each one of these based on our current program. The first thing is diversity. We are required as a district to look at to make sure that we have similar diversity in comparison to our students and amongst our staff members. We have about 13% students that were about Hispanic. So our teachers last year were not meeting that same requirement. We had just one teacher. So we are an equal opportunity employer. We just lack the applicants. And that is our biggest way. We just don't have the applicants of diversity, to meet that same requirement. Our next one is all students are ready for school. Our goal was to increase the percent of students entering kindergarten who meet the target in the fluency from 47.8% in 2018 to 50% last year. 15 out of 20 or 75% met that mark. So last year we did meet that mark in our kindergarten class. Our next one is students achieved 3rd grade achievement. Our goal was to increase the percentage of proficiency in reading in the 3rd grade from 8% to 15%. Last year, we were unable to administer the COVID test, and this is a trend you will see in this video throughout. Because of the COVID-19 pandemic that started last March, we were just about ready to start our AMCA testing. We were unable to complete that, and so we have a lot of reports or a lot of things in here that we're unable to report, and this is one of them. Same thing in this one. This was our proficiency of a full academic year for all of our grades. Our goal was to reach just over 40%. And unfortunately, without the MCA test, we were not able to take that test and not able to report. The older students, we were looking at getting them the ASVAB test, which is conducted through the U.S. military, U.S. Army. It is a military test, but students, juniors all across the state take this test. And unfortunately, we wanted 100% of them to take it as they did. This test was done last October. They came back and did the test, the results with the students. But for the ACT, which is a goal that we just started a couple of years ago to have all of our juniors and a lot of our seniors take that, we were unable to get this done because of the COVID. And so many of the students were not able to take that test. It kept getting pushed back, and we were never able to schedule it. The goal of all of our students, when I talk to students, is to get every single one who walks through our doors to graduate. Our students in 12th grade last year, 100% of our students, graduated. So we were able to meet that goal last year. A big part of that, one of the strategies we do is have an intentional focus on communicating with students and parents after each quarter to make sure that they are on track to graduate. And if they are not on track to graduate, we do provide them with some additional opportunities to correct that and achieve those credits through other means. And another part of that is our teacher advisory program, which started last year, which intentionally with teachers intentionally meeting those students on a monthly basis to check their progress and see how they're doing. Let's see, the achievement goal. Now this is getting into our achievement and integration. The proficiency of our free and reduced, that's what the FRP means. It's free and reduced students enrolled in the full academic year for all grades. We want them to increase their reading accountability tests through the MCA and MTEST, which are the tests taken in the spring. Our goal was to go from just under 65% to 74 or 72%. And again, with COVID, we were unable to administer that test. Our achievement number 2, same result, unable to administer the MCA test. Our goal was to go from focus on math here to go from 62% to 72. We were looking forward to a big jump, and unfortunately, we were not able to see the results on that. Integration goal, we're looking at free and reduced population of our students, how well they are having positive relationships with themselves, with other people, and how things are going in the school. We wanted to do a Likert scale in a couple of years by the 22-23 school year. We felt we would be able to increase that. Unfortunately, we were not able to administer the survey last year because our plan was to do this in the spring, and due to COVID and students being out of the building, we were unable to do that. A couple other things, integration. One of the programs through the achievement and integration is the EQ program, which works with Austin School District, and none of our students qualified for that, and we were not able to we're not able to transport them either. So it was we did not get any students to join that program. So hopefully we will continue with our current COVID situation. I don't know if we are right now, that's on a pause too. So unfortunately everything is paused with that. This was a very important goal for us across Lisle Public Schools, across our neighbors as well within the SMEC consortium, was to provide some culturally responsive leadership training for our staff. We had a staff development across SMEC last year, last October. We provided some culturally responsive instruction to our staff, how to work with students across multiple diverse backgrounds, how to help them. We achieved well over 50% of our staff, with many of them returning this past year. So we're in a good shape for this. I know the teachers are providing that instruction, are using those skills in their instruction. And so it is something that we look across SMEC to provide further instruction with that. We, at this point, because of our COVID-19, we're in a kind of standstill on what we do. We are not sure how well or if we're even going to be able to administer the MCA test right now. The federal government is still planning on holding schools and states accountable for this. So at this point, we are making means to administer this test, but we're not sure how that's going to develop yet as we move into the winter months and the spring. We do utilize our FastBridge, which is a state norm test based on the state standards. We did that in the fall with the majority of our students, and we saw some very good success, and we also got a very good baseline on where the students are. So we will continue to focus on that throughout the year. This is all I have for this evening. Again, thank you very much for joining me with this annual report. We wish you the best in the holiday season. Thank you very much. Good evening.